At Darling, Mourns closing of coffee shop, neglects to mention why it happened, by Adam Casalino, Politics US News, for MadWorldNews.com. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeted her sadness after her favorite coffee shop in New York was shut down. She used the opportunity to once again claim that she is a normal working person, but in all her sorrow, she neglected to mention one crucial fact about the shop's demise. Most people might not mourn the loss of one coffee shop, especially in a city like New York, which is crawling with them, but the fact remains that this one store employed 150 people. Now that its doors are closing, all of them will be out of work. That's never great. It just so happens that Ocasio-Cortez knew about this one particular coffee shop. She said she actually used to work there. Now, after almost 30 years, it's shutting down. The Democratic Socialist lamented its fate on Twitter. She even used the event to push her political aspirations. The restaurant I used to work at is closing its doors. I swung by today to say hi one last time and kid around with friends like old times. I'm a normal working person who chose to run for office because I believe we can have a better future. You can do it too. We all can. Ah, what a brave, tireless champion of the people. She wants all of us to have a better future. If only she was in office already. Perhaps this coffee shop would still be serving customers. Heavy sarcasm. But wait, it seems like this coffee shop closed for a very specific reason. In fact, it was one factor that hastened its demise. Government-inflated minimum wage. That is a major goal of Ms. Ocasio-Cortez's platform. If she were in office, the minimum wage would be even higher. So she is mourning the loss of a store that she would have put out of business anyway. New York Democratic Socialist Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez portrays herself as a normal working person, but one of her positions may have helped 150 people lose their jobs. After enduring mockery for declaring Sunday that a walk in a national park was an example of democratic socialism, Ocasio-Cortez lamented Monday the shutting down of an iconic New York coffee shop that closed mostly due to a higher minimum wage, which Ocasio-Cortez supported. But unlike what Ocasio-Cortez wants you to believe about the closing down, it wasn't the result of greedy capitalists trying to squeeze the workers, but rather government regulations that forced the company to go bust. Source Fox News. The times have changed in our industry, coffee shop owner Charles Militi said. The rents are very high, and now the minimum wage is going up, and we have a huge number of employees. Ocasio-Cortez regularly calls for an increase in minimum wage. She even wants the federal government to enforce a $15 an hour wage. Entitled upper-class Ocasio-Cortez, whose once private business failed, doesn't think that would hurt businesses. Socialists never do. As people woefully unqualified to talk about business, they often push policies that make it impossible for private businesses to succeed. They burden companies with higher taxes, heavy regulations, miles of red tape, and ridiculous laws like the minimum wage hike. Don't think socialists hurt business? Just ask Charles Militi. His coffee shop is gone thanks to New York State. People like Ocasio-Cortez claim their platform will help the people. Really? What about the people who worked at the coffee shop in Union Square that are now out of work? These people have rent, bills, and mouths to feed. They now have to find another way to provide medical insurance. Some of them might have children. Democrats might like to prance around touting the benefits of a forced minimum wage increase. They never talk about the many Americans who lose business and work because of it. Across the country, super liberal states who have inflated minimum wages are suffering. California is seeing an exodus of business. Hundreds of restaurants have closed in San Francisco and San Diego. They simply cannot afford the wildly increased wages. Those that don't shut down simply lay off a portion of their employees. Big companies like McDonald's and Walmart, which are frequently attacked by Bernie Sanders and Ocasio-Cortez, find ways of limiting staff, such as installing ordering kiosks or self-checkout lines. It's all because of socialist policies that are finding their way into this country. But will Ocasio-Cortez do anything when thousands more lose their jobs? Will she help them find more work or pay their rent? Of course not. She is living high off the hog thanks to politics. But when normal working people suffering, she'll be nowhere to be found. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're putting in, industrialization. They're putting in computer systems to do the work. Checkout, self-checkout, and whatnot. Answering services. Why? Because they had to pay for Obamacare for everybody. They had to pay a higher wage increase. So, of course, a lot of small businesses will go out of business because of these the red tape that the Democrats put on people, the high taxes and everything else, so they can't upkeep their business. So she's sad because the coffee shop is closing, but her platform is everything why it's closing. See, that's what Democrats don't get. They know what they're doing. But the people that vote for these Democrats don't get it. That these are the people that actually make businesses go out of business because of their red tape, their high taxes, the higher minimum wage. So how can a company or a business compete like that? Only big businesses, only monopolies will exist in the future at the rate that these Democrats have destroyed this country and the businesses, the small businesses in this country. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.